This is Adam Rodness.
This is Stu Stone.
You guys are in for a treat on NRW because we are talking about our new movie,
Faking a Murderer.
That didn't really hit as much as I thought it was going to hit. With the, do you have another one? Can you use something else there?
That was the $6 one. That's the one you told me to get.
You spent $6,
dude,
on doing the. That was better than what you just showed me.
You wanted the good one. That's the good one.
That is not the good one. That's better. That was better. That was right. NRW. Here we go.
Hey, welcome to NRW. Here's your girl, Tranquil, and I have two lovely guests with us. We have Stu Stone and Adam Rodness, and we're here for Faking a Murder. How are you doing, guys?
Good. Thank you very much for having us.
No problem. No problem.
Pleasure to be in this virtual world with you.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, I think it's going to be like this forever, I think, from this point on. I had the opportunity to watch the movie, and I got like 3 or 4 different things from it. And I kind of looked up your backgrounds, and I see that you're both in, or at least one of you were in Donnie Darko, I believe, and then Hemlock Grove. And Hemlock Grove, for me, was a very gruesome, very gory show. So I'm wondering if these previous like crime or horror shows influenced Faking a Murder.
Yeah, I mean, Hemlock was like a whole different ball game. They go gore. They don't even go home. Like they just go gore. And if I played a character on that show called, his name was Trevor. And if you recall, but at the end in season 3, he comes in with a crazy machine gun, takes out the entire crew, and then caps himself in the head, and then they decapitate me. So decapitation was one thing where I'm like, okay, that's where you can take gore to, which kind of took us to like, how do we get to push our own envelope when making our films? But yeah, I mean, like, you get to see from, the cream of the crop making this type of content on how they do it on behind the camera. So you kind of take those, lessons back with you and use it for your own producing, but definitely an influence from prior projects that we try to take to our own screen. But that was one hell of a show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I knew I was in for it when the transformations started happening and they would eat the flesh.
Hey, no spoilers. No spoilers. I'm not on that episode yet.
Oh my goodness. It's like episode 1. It's like episode 1.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then, and Stu, it was cool because Stu and I both came from these like horror, backgrounds on camera. So, we definitely, we live that in real life and take it back to our desks and our computers when we write.
Plus growing up watching like, horror movies in the 80s and 90s, it was a very popular time for those types of movies, before they made their like snuff film resurgence later on. But back in the day, it was like sort of campy gore. And it was always awesome to watch that stuff growing up in those movies. And then Adam and I, like he said, being in those types of movies and seeing how it's done. And you want to wait for the day where you get to do it and get messy. So we definitely spilled a lot of blood in Faking a Murder.
Yes, you did. Absolutely.
In a short amount of time.
Very short amount of time. It was I won't spoil anything, but man, it comes at you quick when the blood starts rolling. And speaking of your villain, our villain of the movie, where did you find him? Because when I tell you I believed everything that came out of his mouth, I was pretty sure he was actually the bad person that you described him to be. How was it like working with him?
I mean,
he scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, he scared the shit out of both of us. He's if we're pulling it back, so we're talking real right now. breaking that fourth wall. But he was a very talented individual who I was able to work with years ago, and he's just been someone that we always thought we could put him in something, but tried to find the right project for. And when we talked to him, Stu and I went out for lunch with him to an Italian restaurant. And Stu was like, I don't know if you could be like that, terrifying. Are people going to buy it? Because if they don't buy him, the whole thing's done, right? So without ruining anything, but if they don't buy that what he's laying down, the whole magic is ruined. And so he's like, well, watch this. And he took out his dentures, which we didn't know he had dentures, and left with 2 front teeth. And that's all he had to show in his mouth. I
was like, will you do that? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, let's do it.
Wow. That's how he got the job.
Yeah. He actually has he actually made a YouTube channel and like put up those videos, which I'm sure you'll be able to find in the next few weeks. There was a channel, and when we were shooting the movie, we referenced those, like everything was very by the books, like even his YouTube videos, we would go in when we were pitching and talking to detectives and showing them the videos and the evidence that we have found. It was very much everybody. We never had one instance where somebody questioned it. It was just like, yeah, that guy's fucking, yes, he's a killer.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I say that, that's when the movie turned for me.
For sure.
Is when he showed on the screen. I was like, oh, I'm no longer sure what I'm watching now. I thought I was watching one thing, and now we've taken a swift turn here. I was telling Kuya that it kind of reminds me, if you were to combine 3 movies, if 3 movies had a baby,
sure,
it would be Blair Witch Project, The Interview, and Scary Movie for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Check all the boxes.
All the boxes. Okay.
That was great.
That's a good something meets something with a twist of something.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a good explanation for sure. And there is the moment that you're talking about that I think we're all talking about when the movie takes a shift. Now I'm wondering, when that shift happened, were you angry at us, or were you like, oh, I want to see what's going to happen?
I was waiting for it. Honestly, I was looking for the shift because, like I said, at the beginning of the movie, I thought it was a kind of movie, and I knew what direction it was going to go. But then when we hit that part of the movie, I was like, let me sit up a little straighter, because now I have to pay a little bit more of attention, because now it's moving into a territory that's a little scary, a little bit surreal, I guess is the best way to put it. And I feel like I've seen that person in real life before.
Yeah.
In a cornfield driving through Midwest America. And I don't want to be anywhere near that guy.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have wanted to be near him in real life. I mean, he was very much that guy. And shooting this movie, 99% of what you're watching on the screen is really happening. And the crew filming it think, they also are experiencing it like it's really happening. So in order to really pull off this whole sort of plan that we had to make this film, the killer had to be the killer, even around the crew, even around, it wasn't and cut. And he was like, so anybody watch the game yesterday? That did not happen. He was very much the scary guy that you saw.
Well, I think just to give you a little bit of context too, which I think is really awesome for people who are either have seen the movie or are going to see the movie, is that no one knew what we were doing except for Stu and I. Everyone else around us had clues, maybe hints from the quote unquote actors, but there's about 5 people who are actually in on what we're doing. Everyone else, which is about over 50 people, have no clue what's happening. When we go to the private detectives, Brian, that's a real PI. He worked on the Innocence Project with Stephen Avery.
That's a real cop that we went on the drive-through with. That's it's really the pitch meeting.
Sorry, I think I was. This is my. Was I explaining it? You want to explain it with me? When we go to, as Stu was saying, when we go to the cops, that's a real ride along. Like that happened in real life. Like there was one take for everything because we couldn't blow it, because we in real life we're actually producing and directing this movie. Like we can't really afford another take. We can't afford to go and find other people to try this on. Michaela, our assistant, was a real person. Like that was a one take thing. Everything was just done like masterfully, and like we had to organize it like a play, rehearse it as much as possible, come up with all different types of scenarios that may or may not happen, and then we shoot it and hope for the best. But the greatest thing about the film is that it's a multi-watch movie. So you watch the movie once, you take it in for what it is. You watch the movie twice, now you're like picking it apart, seeing what's real and what's fake. And the third time you can watch it a whole different way and understand exactly how we put the whole film together.
No, I completely agree. And like, that's amazing that you have like a continuous shot scenario going on. And I know those are extremely difficult to do. And I was going to ask you, and you brought it up yourself, how was it acting and producing and directing and writing and getting covered with gore every day? Like, how was that?
It was a challenge. I mean, it's like in real life, Adam and I are brothers-in-law, and he is married to my sister. And like the beginning of the movie, when we explain the story, like that's really the story. And, you know, we have a very, very interesting working relationship that was like obviously dialed up to 12 on camera, but like in real life, that's us. And we butt heads a ton, and it's hard because it is us. And when we're the only ones that know what's going on, it's hard to have creative conversations with other people who don't even know what you're talking about. So it's like people were looking at us like we had to come up with code words, how to talk in front of people, how to cue someone to roll a camera without people knowing. Like we had to develop a whole shorthand here. So yeah, this was we've been in movies before and we've worked together on camera before, but nothing like this. Because, this was like Adam said, we're playing this like it's 100% real. You can only do this once. So it's like, you have to be prepared for whatever happens. And so like, for example, like our assistant, Michaela, who really, we took her out at 2:00 in the morning, like 5 times that you didn't see at 2:00 in the morning. So she just got used to going places and looking for, so that day was just another day of her going to look. And then that's the day we found the thing. So she really went to that trunk. And she really saw me and Adam go, you know what I mean? That's all legit. And in order to pull that off, you got to create like a choose your own adventure kind of book in your head. Like, what if she does this? Then we have to do that. What if she does this? We have to do that. On the funny thing is, like, if she didn't get scared and run back and she went in with us, then she'd be in the rest of the movie. It's like she dictated what happened to her character because that's what she did.
That's amazing, actually. That's pretty cool. I was going to bring up, that was one of the parts I enjoyed a lot about the movie is the camera crew, like the whole crew around. I found that to be very believable because it wasn't like straight on, clean, crisp shots. It was like swerves and bottom to top motions and things like that. Was that just because they were like doing it in real life, or was that intentional?
No, that was all intentional. I mean, we sold this. We did a movie that appeared on Netflix last year called Jack of All Trades. It was a documentary about the baseball card investigation. And then we're doing these horror movies and we wanted to marry them together. And so that was the approach. We have to make it real. We want to make our own Jinx. We want to make our own staircase, making a murder, but we're going to do it our way, the 5-7 Films way. And this was our approach to that. And it took a while to, get the rhythm there. But once we found it, it was game over.
Yeah, I would say like the number one sort of direction we had for those, like our amazing crew, especially the camera the DPs that we had, a pair of guys that were shooting, Jeff the Dragon and Nick. And we were, it's just like they're used to working in stuff where like they have to telegraph a move, right? And they know where this guy's leading and he's going to hit his light there. This is not that movie. So they had to sort of retrain their brains to do reactive camera work. So it's like, let him lead you. You know what I mean? Like whatever he does, follow the action. Like let the people on screen lead where the camera's going. The camera shouldn't lead them. Like the camera's never in a room and we walk in the room. There's no shots like that. The camera's walking in with us because, you know, that's how you make a movie.
I like that a lot. It's very organic and it makes me feel more like I'm there.
Right.
Like I believe, so you can take these ideas, just, you know, give me some credit. You can make this into an interactive movie. I think it would be phenomenal to have choices with this movie.
Wow. That's a good idea.
So great if you did that. I mean, even if you do a Faking Murder 2, because I'm sure, you know, it'll be a 2 coming up. You know, if you do an interactive thing like that, or even with this movie, I found that because it like kind of like checks a lot of like boxes in terms of like movie genres, because it's definitely not one genre, at least not to me when I watched it.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that I think that this could start like a move to more like organic filmmaking, and very, very good for VR because of the natural movement.
Sure,
I can
awesome.
Right, someone sitting there
Immersive.
And him exactly, and have him like with his no teeth and blood and just right here in your face. That would be great. So
a really good idea.
Right, there you go.
I like it. Yeah, well, there's a lot more stuff that we want to do in this type of genre that we've kind of concocted. So, you know,
you're hired.
Yes.
Those are good ideas.
Thank you. I'm a makeup artist too. So if you need a more
expert. Where do you live, Tranquil?
Adam likes makeup.
DC. I'm close to New York and I can always take a flight. So
how is it in DC right now?
Oh, good. Actually, it's humid, very humid.
It's been a pretty wild place for the last couple of years.
It has, but you know, I guess since I'm from here, it's like a Tuesday for me.
Yeah.
So, that's why I think I'm excited and I like these kinds of movies because it's like, hey, I'm ready for anything anyway.
Sure.
So these movies are like right up my alley.
Amazing.
I know that we're coming up to our time limit here, but I want to make sure we cover your questions.
Yeah. So last question I actually do have, and I timed it real good. Yes. So last question. 5-7 Productions, right?
5-7 Films. 5-7 Films.
5-7 Films.
5-7 Films.
So was that your first thought when it came to your, you know, production company? Or
that's a great question.
That is the best. I can't wait for you to hear this answer.
Okay.
So, I started to date Stu's sister, Dina, and
behind my back.
And every time I would say, you know, he would come over and, you know, he'd go in my closet and he'd borrow a sweatshirt. And I'd be like, dude, that's my sweatshirt. And he would look back at me and like, dude, that's my sister. I'm like, okay, touche. And I'd be like, dude, that's the beer I was going to drink. He's like, that's my sister. Which then born the idea of That's My Sister Productions. And we decided to run with that. And then we printed business cards.
It looked like we were some kind of like stripper agency or something.
It's like, I don't know. Does this really? And then we were kind of like standing together and we looked in the mirror and we're like, dude, we're actually the same height. How tall are you? 5'7". 5'7". Great. Guess what? As my dog barks, 5'7" Films was born.
That's amazing.
We are both 5'7". That's not an exaggeration.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So tell us, you know, where we can find you, what's your next project.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Adam, are you at the list?
Well, here's we're going to give you an exclusive that we just learned right now because this is huge, but I'm not sure when this is going to go to air for you guys, but Dread Central is holding an exclusive premiere screening in Los Angeles for Faking a Murder on August 3rd. Okay, that we just learned. The movie is then going to come out on August 6th. You're going to be able to find it across almost every platform, including Amazon Prime, iTunes, Vudu, Fandango Now, Cox, Dish TV, Direct TV. It's going to be everywhere.
Awesome.
Yes, and
so if you can't find it, you're lying.
That's true. And listen, we're fighting hard here. We're battling for eyeballs just like everybody else. and there's a lot of stuff that people can watch, and we respect people's time. And if they want to give us like 90 minutes of their time, I think they're going to have a good time watching this movie. And, you know, the currency that we can benefit from all of this is not dollars and cents. It's like spreading out the word. It's like we do this because we love it. Mm-hmm. And we want people to, you know, we make it so people can watch it. And, you know, we appreciate you putting us on like this. And if anybody watching this wants to support us or any independent film that they love, that's the best way you can support them. Yes, you could buy a ticket to go see it, but in real life, the best way that you could support an independent film is to spread the word about it. Literally, that's what we're begging for.
No, okay.
And then to wrap it up too, we do have our next movie coming. We're going to start shooting in September in a very, I would say, luxurious place called Winnipeg, Manitoba, which is in Midwest Canada.
It's very bougie,
but it's a stoner heist thriller movie about a bunch of stoner idiots who try to pull over a heist at a senior citizens bingo hall on Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay.
So that's the next thing that's coming up from 5-7 Films, aka or PKA. That's my sister productions.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You will, you know, definitely be sharing Faking a Murder with all of my 30,000 followers. They're yours. And thank you so much once again. We're signing off. Follow us at NRW Podcast, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Our shoot is officially happening.
Okay. Tell me which one found the tape? Which one?
We found the tape when we were online.
I found the tape when we were doing a routine exercise to find more potential projects for our company.
This could be our next movie.
There's 2 cameras right here.
We think he did kill somebody. We have found 2 people willing to go on camera. Adam and I are going to look for this guy.
I love you guys, but you're not investigators.
The next logical step is for us to investigate murder.
Money hits our account. Our shoot is officially happening.
First thing I see is I mentioned Stacy.
Can we find an IP address that will link us to the city?
It's not as easy as you think. There's a lot of work.
And it's from the internet.
Yes, this is the guy.
Rascals.
He goes by David Stoner.
First of all, have you been to cops?
Yes.
And what did they tell you?
They said that we didn't really have anything.
Well, you don't.
Just keep rolling. No matter what, keep rolling.
Okay, sir.
Cut it.
Sir.
Right here, there's a crazy amount of semen. I mean, you told us to lay low. We're laying low. Good. Now people might think you're
Shia LaBeouf.
Perfect.
All right, guys, enjoy the festival.
Take care.
What if I don't find him?
If the job was to not find him, we could do that. You know, we need to find somebody that can
actually find him.
In the trunk of that car. You see what is in the trunk of that car. There's nobody here.
Oh my God.
It's rude. Enough. Come home.
Keep on hearing something.
Think that this guy might be real.
I haven't seen anybody here yet.
It's the burned barrel.
Do not go here.
Hey, what's up? This is Adam Rodness.
I'm Stu Stone.
And you guys are in for a treat because you're going to have a whole lot of Adam Rodness and Stu Stone coming up on NRW as we talk
about our new film, Faking a Murderer.
Oh my God! Did you buy those sound effects off of a?
It came with the board.
It came with the board. That's nice. Show me your smile. That's a winning smile. NRW world, what's happening? We're excited for you.
That's hopefully they've cut already. Jeez.
That's it. Can we finish it off?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Since I'm not talking to you, since I'm gonna let Tranquil do it, I just want to let you know, Stu, I enjoyed the film. But like your character, bro, like I don't know if you're supposed to be an annoying dude, but like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I want to punch this guy in the face, and I gotta watch this film all the way to this. This is still like an hour. I don't know. Your character was like, man, dude, like
so funny.
Then,
my
but
character.
Then, at the end, I was like, you are a ride or die kind of cat because you're like, oh, the movie's fucked. The dude's not really a villain. So I'm going to make this happen and turn this into the whole twist. And that's a ride or die cat you need on a team, man, to like make something pop when it was going down south. So
listen, the annoying guy.
How you can actually understand my frustrations with him during the process.
Actually, it's so crazy because you're the first person ever to describe it like that, because usually Adam is the one that people want to punch in the face. So that is very refreshing for him to hear that. For me, listen, I've heard worse.
All right, man, but nothing but love, bro. It's all cinema and everything. All right, so